sharks.
Is either myself or a loved one close to me getting in a bad car accident.
Spiders.
Disappointing people.
Drowning.
Hamsters.
Probably snakes.
The only thing I'm really afraid of is heights.
My biggest fear is singing.
Dogs.
My biggest fear is something happening to one of my kids.
Public speaking.
Because I don't like sharks.
I just have heard terrible stories. I've seen really bad accidents, driving in the car a lot.
I'm scared that people will look at me differently, or I'm worried that people will think of you differently because you couldn't live up to what they hope you could be.
Because it's dangerous, rip currents in the ocean, and very good swimmers drown, so anybody can drown.
When I was a kid, I was helping my dad work in the yard, and I was raking a pile of leaves, and a snake rustled in them, and it's really scared me.
Because it's something that I'm very close with and take to heart, so I don't like to share it with other people.
Because they're my life, they're my world, and I don't, ever want any harm to come to them in any way.
I just think that there's so many people who, would judge me, or maybe I would mess up and people would think different about me. Fear, to me, is something that I can't stop, something terrible that I can't stop thinking about.
Put myself out of that situation that I'm in.
I think fear is when you don't allow yourself to do something because you're worried about what will happen.
I think it's something that you think about a lot in the back of your mind, and you get yourself all riled up, and you get a little nervous just thinking about it, but you do it constantly, which I do.
I guess someone's a negative response to something.
It prevents you from doing certain things.
Sometimes it can take advantage of you, and you could only be afraid of things.
It stops me from doing what my friends do.
Something that you think about, you worry about.
Most of the situations we think are dangerous really aren't. The actual definition of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous or likely to cause a threat. But how does this fear trigger the reaction that it does?
What would you do if I told you that you were going to face your fear today?
Do I have to?
There are 5 areas in the brain associated with the reaction to fear. The thalamus receives sensory details such as what you are seeing or what you are hearing. Next, the sensory cortex interprets the sensory details received from the thalamus. The hippocampus stores and receives memories. The amygdala decodes emotions and determines possible threats. And the hypothalamus activates a fight or flight response. When someone perceives something as a threat, the person subconsciously takes the low road or the high road. The low road involves a fast and often messy reaction.
The inspiration for this.
Don't film me!
What if I shut the door?
There's sharks.
The low road means that the person does not think the situation through before they react. The thalamus receives a sensory encounter, such as seeing a spider or turning the lights off. It sends the encounter directly to the amygdala, where it is determined as a threat. Then the amygdala tells the hypothalamus to activate a fight or flight response. This means that the person either tries to fight their threat or run away.
Here comes the hamster, Bennett. Oh, no. It's okay. See?
No!
The high road involves a precise interpretation of the events.
Very nice, I promise. You have nothing to be scared of. You could face your fear.
No.
Come on.
To.
When a person takes the high road and sees a spider or realizes the lights have been turned off, the thalamus sends that information to the sensory cortex, where it is interpreted for meaning. The sensory cortex tells the hippocampus that there is more than one possible interpretation of the sensory data. The hippocampus determines if this threat has ever been encountered before. The hippocampus sends a message to the amygdala that there is no threat, and the amygdala then tells the hypothalamus to shut off the fight or flight reaction. Taking the high road allows a person to effectively avoid their fear or overcome it. I'm just going to read you a quick poem about overcoming fear. In the past, I've lived with so much fear, always crowding my thoughts, invading my heart, corrupting my spirit, and dictating my every move. But then I realized I could overcome it, and I fought so I would never have to live that way anymore.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Without him, I feel his arms around me. And when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me.
Alright, Claire, he's very nice, I promise. You have nothing to be scared of. You could face your fear. You could pet him. Come on. He's nice, right? You could do it, I promise. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, he's so cute.
It was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't really that bad.
I told you.
I don't know, I'm really high, but it's not that bad.
I feel proud of myself that I did that, and I feel like I can do it more now.
Like I was never even scared of it. Great, because now I can play with my friend's dog.
Woo! Woohoo!
Let's see where he goes.